Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Everyone knows the old saying, nothing lasts forever. Well, whoever said that obviously never bought a timeshare. Not only do your maintenance fees and assessment fees go on forever, they go up forever. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Over 10 years ago, I was a timeshare salesman. But once I saw the dark side of the business, I quit. I started helping folks get out of their timeshares. Since then, we've helped over 30,000 families by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-798-4545. That's 800-798-4545. 800-798-4545.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. I want to talk about a whole bunch of stuff today, but I'm not exactly sure where to start. Some of it is decidedly political. Democrats are launching a new campaign that is going to encourage young people, Gen Zs and millennials. Millennials are not young anymore, so I'm not really sure why we're calling them young. They're literally middle-aged, but that's fine. I think they're going to be the perpetually young generation for some reason. But there's a major push by the Democrats to get younger people to run for public office. And I actually do want to take some time at some point during today's program to discuss that, because we had an opportunity here in the state of Wisconsin with Mandela Barnes, and there was all sorts of complaints about how he ran his campaign and the commercials he was running and the image that he was trying to portray to encourage and entice voters to support him over election denying, abortion rights denying, fake electors creating Ron Johnson, but clearly that didn't work. I think, this is my personal opinion, you may agree or disagree or interject your own ideas. Young people make terrible representatives. First of all, they don't vote. And so getting young people to run for office, okay, fine. You want them to have, I don't know, a new perspective, a fresh perspective, whatever the case may be. But old people would have to vote for them, because there is no evidence that when young people, when I say young, I mean under 50, under 40. How's that? There's no evidence that increases youth voter turnout. Voters in this country are older adults that have lived experience with a whole bunch of things. They've seen the economy go up and down. They've rented. They've owned homes. They've had different jobs. They have families. They have a whole host of life experiences that some young people just don't have. I'm not taking this away from young folks, but how do you represent someone politically that has 25 or 30 more years of life experience than you? If you just lived with your parents, a college dormitory, maybe you have your first apartment, how do you represent someone who owns a home or owns property? Because their life that they live is dramatically different than yours. And again, I'm not taking anything away from young people, but they don't have the lived experience to represent people that do have the lived experience. I guess to some extent, childless people could represent people with children and families, I suppose, but only because of what they know and what they've seen and what they have read. Having a family, being married is a whole different set of experiences that you simply don't know anything about if you are childless and unmarried. So how do those people, young people without that lived experience, represent people that do have it? And here's the other thing. We've seen this here in the city of Milwaukee. Like every political story has an example in Wisconsin or in Milwaukee. And I think that's why we're such an important state when it comes to presidential politics, because we have the examples right here. Everybody says they want new leadership because they think that young people can think of stuff differently. No, young people just don't have the experience in learning from their mistakes. They don't have that yet. No, they still have yet to make a bunch of mistakes, but it is through the triumphs and overcoming of life's experiences do you become hardened. Young people don't have the negotiating skills. There is no way anyone should have had our mayor, what's Cavalier Johnson, 36 years old, maybe 35, 36, put him in the room with a Republican leader of the assembly and expect Milwaukee to come out with a good deal. In fact, when it comes to our political opponents, none of them are young. They're all old people. You ever wonder why there's so many old people in Washington, D.C.? Dianne Feinstein, Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. They're really, really old. Because their voters are old. They can look at one another and through the wrinkles on their faces and their crow's feet can determine the lived experience of those people. So I said I wasn't going to talk about that till later. I had to get that started, though, because we're going to certainly come back to that conversation about, I think the Democrats are making another fool's errand instead of trying to push for this quote-unquote younger people to run for public office. How about experienced people? How about people with energy? How about people with charisma? Because there's people that have charisma at the age of 60, and there's people at the age of 25 that are boring. Talking to them is like watching paint dry. How about that? Because Democrats should have an opportunity here. The leading Republican candidate is facing like 80 felony charges. So the Democrats have a whole bunch of opportunity here to capitalize off of that because they don't really need to do much more than that if they just stick to the script. Like, hey, do you want to vote for somebody that took away a woman's right to get an abortion? And then also the person who is leading the Republican Party is probably going to go to prison for a very long time. Hey, vote for the Democrats. And they don't really have to say much more than that, because if they say more than that, they'll end up totally screwing it up. Now, the Republicans have a problem. Well, they have many. Trump is just one of the many problems that they have. So more moderate centrist Republicans in swing districts. So a swing district is a district, congressional district that can go Democrat one cycle, Republican the next, and kind of swings back and forth. They have to distance themselves from Donald Trump. And that's extremely difficult for them to do because the election calendar in the year 2024 is going to line up perfectly with Donald Trump's court dates. So we're going to have national news that's going to teeter between, hey, Super Tuesday contests in Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Minnesota, New Hampshire. And oh, by the way, Trump is going to court today for his federal proceedings. If you are a Republican, you don't want that to be the news cycle because the individual that is leading your party in the polls is going to be in federal court on election day in some state. So it's going to be a fascinating dynamic that I am thoroughly convinced that the Democrats are going to find a way to screw it up. They just are. Okay, so let's put a bow on that briefly. We're going to get back to some political stuff. This is just a burning question that I have, and if you guys can answer it for me, then we won't need to have a long, deep discussion about it. It's just a question. It's not really political. It's more social. It's about relationships, heterosexual, cisgender relationships. I have to be clear when I say that because it's not assumed anymore, which is fine. That's okay. Heterosexual, so you're attracted to the opposite sex, and cisgender is so the gender. I don't want to say the gender you're born as. I don't want to say normal people because that's probably offensive to somebody out there. Like a cisgender is like you're a man and you identify as a man, right? You're a woman and you identify as a woman, and you're heterosexual. So those people that, I don't know, might be becoming the minority, not entirely sure. There's new pronouns every week. So cisgender, heterosexual men that are attracted to women, and then cisgender, heterosexual women that are attracted to men. So those people, get those people in your mind. And some of you may be those people. For the men that are attracted to and that desire and maybe married to, dating or engaged to strong women, okay? If there are men that say, I want a strong woman, I need a strong woman in my life, my wife is a strong woman, I am not denoting race at all because I believe the category of, quote, strong woman could be any race, ethnicity, culture, nationality, okay? I'm talking about the heterosexual, cisgender men that want and desire and love, quote, unquote, strong women, okay? Gentlemen, for those of you that place that high on your desire list for a woman to be strong, when the car breaks down, does she fix it? If y'all are in bed upstairs and you clearly hear somebody breaking into your house, does your strong woman go and check to see what's going on to make sure everything is safe? I'm very curious here. For heterosexual, cisgender men that desire and that love and that are attracted to, quote, strong women. 4th of July time, you got relatives coming over. Gonna fire up the grill. Does she barbecue? Does your strong woman cut the grass? Like, does she? Help me understand that. What is it about a heterosexual, cisgender woman that exudes masculinity is attractive to a heterosexual, cisgender man? Is her strength supplanting your masculinity? And also men that want to be and desire to be led by women. Now, here's the thing. I'm not casting judgment. I just have a bunch of curiosities. And I say this because femininity is divine. And for men who either are not attracted to femininity or they prefer a strong woman that exudes masculinity, help me figure that out. How would, and maybe this is when, the youngsters talk about, like sexuality and sexual preference is on a continuum. You know what I mean? So if heterosexual, cisgender men, so you're born a man and you lived your life as a man and your pronouns are the he and the him, but you just are incredibly attracted to masculine traits in women. Isn't that a little latent homosexuality? A little bit. Like, it's not, because if you're attracted to masculinity, then why wouldn't a man do it for you? These are just questions that I have. I'm just wondering because I'm very confused by this. And also the men that prefer to be led by women. I mean, could that be? I hope I'm not offending anybody. These are just questions. Why can't I have questions? Why can't I have intellectual curiosity? I just find it absolutely fascinating. Because femininity to me is as close to divinity as you can possibly get. And even homosexual, so gay men are sometimes, not always though, sometimes gay men are feminine, right? And that femininity is attractive to other gay men because there is something that is durable about the beauty of femininity, right? It's like ethereal. It's angelic. It's sweet. It balances out evil and negative forces in the world. It literally is the yin and the yang. There's something magical, something mythical about a feminine woman. There really is, and it's unexplainable. You have to experience it, and to experience it is to feel elation. It really is ecstasy-inducing, okay? But when there's a masculine woman, though, or she exudes masculine energy, which a lot of times is synonymous with strength, I'm just curious. For those of you that want to chime in, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I just have some questions, that's all. A lot we're going to talk about today, but I had to get that question out there just to see, because I might be missing something. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
It's that time, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. From Thursday, August 3rd to Sunday, August 13th, check out the Wonder Fair Wheel, Spin City Amusement Ride and Game Area, and of course, all the crazy yet tasty new food options, such as the deep fried bacon cheese curd, a seaweed fish sandwich, loaded potato kettle corn, and many of your fan favorites. Vendors will accept cash inside the State Fair, but parking and admission will be cashless. So make sure you come prepared for the 11 days of fun.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Good Karma Brands is celebrating Thriving Through. We are proud to share an encouraging story from The Truth's general manager, Cherie Harris, of thriving through her breast cancer diagnosis.
What this journey has taught me is exercise patience with yourself. The recovery is long and it's going to be hard, but you have to be patient with it and you will get through it. That's what it's taught me. Another thing that's very important is changing my lifestyle, changing what I eat, how I cook, how I order. That is very important. I think nutrition has everything to do with your body makeup and how you're going to wake up and feel the next day. And if I'm not eating right, I'm not going to feel right. And that could be whatever choice it is. But for me, it's less of one protein versus the other. And that just helped me just repurpose myself and make myself feel better. And knowing that I'm doing everything I can to reset and refocus and remove this cancer from my body. And that's what changed. And that was hard, but it's well worth it.
What are you looking forward to moving forward?
I'm looking forward to getting back into work. The Truth has meant everything to me. It's my dream role, and I'm so excited to return back to work. I'm looking forward to living my best life, and that means a better work-life balance, traveling, spending time being an empty nester. It's a new chapter, and it's a new day. And I turned 50, and I want to know what that next chapter looks like, and what that means. Being 50 and being a cancer survivor all in one. But it's like I said, cancer doesn't define who I am. It's something that happened to me. So I'm excited to rebuild this puzzle, have new wardrobe maybe, and just go at it and thrive through what life brings to me and be a fighter every step of the way.
Support our Thrive Through initiative by buying an exclusive Truth Thrive Through shirt by visiting 1017thetruth.com. All proceeds go to support breast cancer research. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's a look of pure confusion on my face. So let me be abundantly clear here. Be who you are. Be comfortable in your own skin, as difficult as that may be. You're better off being who you are, being your true and natural self. Because all of y'all are weird. Hell, I'm weird. Very, actually. Like, not, you can't trust me around kids weird. Like, not like that. But just, you know, I speak my mind. I'm tactful with it. I know my audience, whether it's an in-person audience or a radio audience. I know how far I can and cannot go with my weirdness. But here's the thing. I am who I am, and everybody's got a little weird to them. And then there's things that still baffle me, that confuse me. I'm very fortunate in that over the years, I've been exposed to a lot of different kinds of people. Racial dynamics and cultural dynamics. Just the way I grew up and where I grew up. I grew up in Brown Deer, where the community was almost entirely homogeneously Caucasian. But because of the Chapter 220 program, I got to experience not just African Americans, but Latinos and Asian children and Middle Eastern children, my entire upbringing. And so all of that stuff is normal to me. Seeing different races and faces in my vicinity is totally normal. Getting to know people and finding our common ground, for me, totally normal. That's just, and that's good though. Like I appreciate that. But it also gives me a variety of different perspectives on people because of the diversity that I grew up with. Another interesting dynamic about when I grew up and where I grew up was, you got to keep in mind what Brown Deer was. Brown Deer was seen as aspirational for not just black people at the time, because for a long period of time, we literally could not get mortgages in Brown Deer. The banks wouldn't underwrite them. They wouldn't give us mortgages because of the segregation that exists in Milwaukee County. So when that essentially broke in the late 1960s, Brown Deer, amongst other suburbs, became very aspirational for African Americans. But here's what I found. By the time I was in high school, so you had African American children who were from the North Side, Central City, who via the Chapter 220 program, which is essentially a busing program that brought black children to schools like Brown Deer to quote unquote diversify them, to end or reduce school segregation here in Milwaukee, which is very much a thing. In fact, we're resegregating schools now because we're doing this whole neighborhood schools thing. So black families could participate in the Chapter 220 program. And Brown Deer at the time was willing to take them because they would get an additional allocation for every Chapter 220 student that they took. So you had to bribe suburban schools with accepting black children. So let me use some round numbers, for example. At the time, let's say the state allocation per student, this is what schools base their budgets off of, let's say it was $3,500 per child. Okay, so if you have 100 kids, that would be, what, $350,000 for your school budget, right? For every Chapter 220 child they took, they got an additional $3,500, essentially doubling their state allocation per Chapter 220 student that they got. It's a really good deal. And what it also allowed some suburban schools to do, because of course the property values are higher, therefore the property taxes are higher, because y'all know that is what our school funding formula is. They were able to get rich, those suburban school districts, and offer all sorts of things, extracurricular activities, hire specialists and all sorts of teachers. They could fully fund their sports and athletic programs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In fact, even to this day, some of the most powerful high school athletics are from suburban schools. Now, I'm not saying it's a direct result of the additional money they got for accepting Chapter 220 students, but prove me wrong. They doubled their money. And then when the program phased out, some years ago, suburban schools could still accept students from the central city, but they wouldn't get that bounty. They wouldn't get that additional allocation. So what we found is a lot of suburban schools were like, nah, we're good. We're not going to accept anymore. It was sweet when y'all gave us double the money for every black that we accepted, but since you're going to cut off the money, nah, we'll just do legacy, meaning if a child had a brother or sister that was a junior or senior at that high school, they would allow the younger sibling to be essentially grandfathered in. And I don't like the term grandfathered in because it's got its roots in slavery. Look it up. I don't want to discuss that right now. But here's another thing that I found. White kids that were going to MPS at the time. So this is late 80s, early 90s, okay? If you were around back then, imagine. Custer still had a bunch of white kids. South Division, whole bunch of white kids. Marshall, Madison, whole bunch of white kids. Vincent was pretty much an all-white MPS high school until like 92. 90. It would probably cross the 50% threshold in 91 or 92. Vincent, in the 70s, all white, all Caucasian. It's hard to imagine, ain't it? White parents that had their kids in MPS schools, but their white kids were starting to follow the wrong crowd. Okay, I want you to think about this. As schools like Vincent, Marshall, Madison, to a lesser extent, what's the one off of Forest Home? What is it? Hamilton. Hamilton was a white school. As it's starting to transition, and the South Side schools, South Division, Hamilton were becoming more Latino and black. Some of those white kids that were going to those schools were now starting to adopt the philosophies, mannerisms, vernacular, and culture of those black kids. So white parents that could not necessarily have their kids participate in the Chapter 220 program were like, we're getting you out of this school. It's getting too black. It's getting too urban. It's getting too ghetto. We're going to get you out of Vincent, Marshall, Madison, and Hamilton. And where are we going to put you? Brown Deer. Because remember, Brown Deer at the time was aspirational. So here's the mix of kids that I grew up with. Obviously, kids that lived in Brown Deer like I did. African-American kids whose parents lived in Brown Deer like I did. Hispanic kids, Puerto Rican kids from the east side, Asian kids, Middle Eastern kids, and white kids who were immersed in black culture that were from Custer, Marshall, Madison, South Division, and Hamilton coming to Brown Deer as well. You want to talk about a melting pot. Now, I don't want to use the term ghetto. Well, there's another term that we use for white kids, boys and girls, that absorbed, exuded, and lived black culture. And it's a very derogatory term. So imagine all of that culminating into one high school experience. But it's interesting because the white families that had their white children going to Marshall, Madison, Vincent, Custer, etc., literally moved to Brown Deer, or very reminiscent of the Fresh Prince in Bel Air. You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. Hey there, little Johnny. No. It's too ghetto over here in Vincent. There's too many black kids coming to Vincent and Marshall and Madison and Custer. You're going to go stay with your Aunt Gertrude in Brown Deer, or we're going to use her address so we can enroll you in Brown Deer because Brown Deer is aspirational. And so you have these white kids who you couldn't extract the hood out of them. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was just the weirdest thing ever. And here's what's crazy. So those white kids that came from MPS schools had more in common with the black 220 students than they did with those of us that grew up and lived in Brown Deer. And the racial clashes that ensued were something of legend. Oh, it was a wonderful time to grow up. All right, why don't we do this? I still have that question about men who are attracted to strong. I'm using the term strong woman as masculine. Like, what is it about a woman's, maybe I shouldn't even say strong. Maybe I should just say have masculine traits. Like, what is that a heterosexual cisgender man is attracted to? Like, does she protect you? If you're having a problem with somebody at work, fellas, does your strong, masculine-esque woman, when she comes and picks you up for work, because I have a feeling you don't have a car, if you're a man with a strong woman, and somebody is messing with you at work, does your masculine woman, when she comes to pick you up, say, which one is it? Like, point them out to me. Ain't nobody going to be messing with my baby. No, I'm curious. Like, what is the appeal? Rhea, you know you want to laugh, but I'm just fine. If your woman protects you, like, that's not any shade. That'd be cool, I guess. Right? If you are out with you're out with your woman and you're having a cocktail. Maybe you're here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. You're having a drink. They got a nice happy hour here. I ain't gonna lie to you. In fact, I was here for the happy hour yesterday. A little side note. And I was with one of my guys. He's only been here like one other time. Like when it first opened, and last time he was here before that, it was still the Grand Avenue Mall. So now to see it like fully built out and all the restaurants and pinball machines and all the other stuff that we have here. So I brought my fella down here. Come check it out. And yeah, we had a little whatever, few. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing. Hey, I was off for work. Now leave me alone. I have me a little couple few. And I happened to, because I was giving my friend a tour of where our studios are. And guess who I see sitting in the window in the catbird seat? Oh, Dr. Ken Harris. So my friend who I was hanging out with, he had to get back home to his wife because, wives control men's curfews. And Dr. Ken waved me, and I said, well, my guy is going home. I might as well come and sit in with Dr. Ken. We actually had a really good time until we started talking about climate change, and then Dr. Ken had to snatch the show back because he's like, Sherwin, this is my show, because I was about to get in his ass. I really was. He knew it. Oh, the doctor knew I was going to get in his ass when it came to climate change because he is a climate denier. Now, Dr. Ken, I love you now, but you're a climate denier. Because you deny it don't mean it ain't happening. So, yeah, that was happy hour, Sherwin. In fact, I may or may not have had my beverage in the studio. I don't remember if I had it in here. He's the one that called me to come in. I didn't punch in. It was off the clock. It was my social time. So you want to hear some entertaining banter between me and the good old Reverend Doctor. That would be Dr. Ken's show from yesterday. Okay. I'm going to take a break and come back. And Madison asked me if I'm Wayne Brady weird. I'm not. Wayne Brady came on. I heard this on Truth Be Told, that he came out as pansexual. Did you hear about that, Rhea?
I did, but that doesn't make him weird.
I mean, yeah. What is pansexual? Like, you just have sex with anything. Pots, pans, goats, chickens, turkey sandwiches. Well, I mean, I'll try it. If it'll fit in the pan, I'll. Shout out to Wayne Brady. But no, to answer the question, Madison, no. And here's the thing. Weird doesn't need to have, I got to take a break, don't I? Big time. Weird doesn't need to have a negative connotation. It just means it's out of the norm. It's non-status quo. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City Year Milwaukee is recruiting for its 14th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply.
Hi, I'm Juliana Krantz, and I'm a proud Riverside University High School Tiger. As a rising junior, my favorite things about Riverside have to be the friends I've made here and the extracurriculars I get to take part in. I also really like being able to challenge myself in my classes. I'm excited for the school year because it means I get to have another amazing season on the Forensic Speech and Debate team at RUHS. On August 12th, come and see Riverside and get ready to head back to school at the Truth Family Fest from 10 to 3. We will have food trucks, vendors, and entertainment. See you there!
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snodd. It was an ugly finish for the Brewers at home on Tuesday night as Andrew Chafin and Abner Uribe allowed 3 straight basis-loaded walks in the 10th inning, and Milwaukee would go on to lose the game 7-3 to the Colorado Rockies.
No, we didn't throw strikes that inning, and anytime it's that kind of dramatic, it's going to cost you, and it certainly cost us.
With the loss, the Brewers now sit a game and a half over both Chicago and Cincinnati for the top spot in the NL Central Division. Brewers-Rockies rubber match will get underway later this afternoon, with coverage getting underway over on 620 WTMJ beginning at 12:30. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers are set to hold a joint practice with the Bengals in Cincinnati later today. Practice gets underway this afternoon as the two teams prepare for Friday night's preseason game. The Sports Update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
So if you ever wonder about the method of my madness, and maybe this explains my weirdness when it comes to doing talk radio, I will have 2 completely different topics, completely different subjects going at the same time, because the variety of topics and subjects that I have going on interest different people, right? So if I just talk about Trump, that's only going to get certain people who are interested in that. A lot of y'all just going to turn the radio to hear something else. Or if I just talk about, I don't know, relationships when Al calls in, that's going to turn some people off too. But if I can juggle multiple topics, then it can increase the engagement, because that diversity is technically designed to get more people interested in the subject matter. So there's actually a couple of things I got swirling around in the universe right now. The first is men, heterosexual, cisgender men, so men who live as men and who are attracted to women, but those particular men are attracted to, want, desire, or have strong women that are more masculine, that exude more masculinity and toughness. And when a woman is, and let's say she's not gay, like she's heterosexual, she likes men, she likes cisgender heterosexual men, but she's really, really masculine or quote unquote strong. Because I think we can use the two synonymously: a strong woman, masculine traits, strong, whatever. So they're kind of interchangeable. Is it just like a defense mechanism so she can appear tough? Because femininity, by design, it's weaker. It's submissive. Femininity doesn't go to war. Femininity doesn't create war. Femininity is the antithesis to negative energy. This is my opinion. Some of you may agree. Most of you probably won't. So if a woman is exuding these masculine characteristics, is she protecting, like physically protecting? If there's somebody breaking into the house, does she go? Does she then assume other duties of a man? Or is it just all for appearances? She wants to appear strong. She wants to appear masculine so that nobody messes with her, like it's a defense mechanism.
I have a question.
Oh, please, by all means, Rhea.
So how are you defining masculine? Is it more so just by the acts that she does, or is it by the way she carries herself, or is it by the way she presents herself?
It's literally all of it.
All of it?
All of it. The way she carries herself. It could even be, I know y'all gonna get mad at me with this, how she wears her hair. Long hair is just more feminine. It is. It is. It's not that a woman can't be feminine with short hair. She can be. A woman can be masculine with long hair too. It's rare, but I mean, it's very possible. But she exudes the traits that we would associate with a man. She's tough. Take no nonsense. She might be combative. She might be violent. She might always take the lead. She's dominant. She domineers. She domineers other people. She domineers situations. She domineers at work. She is admired and praised for her strength and her masculine characteristics.
But don't all women have that?
No. There are some women who, I don't want to sound like a sexist, but I mean, it's the truth. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. I ain't scared of none of y'all. There's some women that want to be led. They want to be comfortable in being submissive, that if there's anything that they need, if there's strength that they need, they can rely on a man for that. There's certain things they simply will not do because a man will do. They'll do the tough things. These men will on behalf of these submissive women, women that are okay being submissive and women that are okay being led. Because here's one thing that I know for sure. As masculine or feminine as a woman can be in the grand scheme of things in American society, women do not protect themselves very well. They don't. Even when women have guns, they don't shoot. Even female cops that have guns don't shoot. There's something, and submissiveness it's a kind of power. And it's also a level of confidence that you place in someone else to help you and to take care of you. You're not afraid to say, I don't know how to do that. That's out of my realm of understanding, out of my realm of possibility. I can't do these things. I'm relying on a strong masculine man to, I don't know, go off to war, make the money, do all of the tough things, the hard work, the gritty work. Women aren't digging ditches. And if they do work on construction sites, they're holding the flags. There are some women say, no, that is what I want my man to do. And they're attracted to that gritty masculinity. And her femininity can be very, very comfortable because she knows she's going to be well taken care of. She's not worried about any threats, not physical threats, because of her strong, tough, masculine man. And so for men that like masculine women, does she protect you? When things go bump in the night, is it her that gets out of bed first? I'm just really curious about that. Or does that masculine woman all of a sudden, when she's like met her match right? When she encounters something that she as a woman cannot handle, then does she revert to becoming submissive and becoming feminine again, like somebody's breaking into the house. She's a masculine woman in every other regard. She leads, she's outspoken, she's upfront, she's tough. She might even be physically combative, but when they hear that glass break downstairs in the living room window, does she all of a sudden go from, yeah, baby, when we get up in the morning, oh my God, what was that? Help me. Go, you go. Or does she wear that masculinity all the time? I just gotta know.
There are people that are like that, though.
Okay.
Like, you can do both. I think it's still like a yin and yang of like, okay, some men are softer or sweeter, and they kind of match that energy of what they need in a partner, and sometimes that partner is a little bit more masculine than a woman.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm here.
Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
No.
You haven't seen it?
I don't know what that is.
It's a cute movie. It's a Pixar movie.
That's another reason why I haven't seen it.
Well, you should. I mean, you could still watch cartoons. It's good for your mental health.
Okay, proceed.
Anyway, there's a character in there where there's this like general woman. It's played by the lady who's in the show where the Glee. You know, the white woman, the principal.
Yes, she's a lesbian.
Yes, okay, but in the show, in the movie, she's like this general alien killer, and she ends up marrying this like little small hobbit of a man, and it's like a balance of her masculine energy and his like softness, and I feel like there are real life relationships that are like that, where you have a woman that can be masculine, quote unquote masculine, I would say, but still can meet that softer side, and that other softer side is just the man.
Huh. I believe that there, in fact, I know relationships like that. Like, I know people where the woman 100% wears the pants, makes the decisions, like she runs the household and everything in it. In fact, in those relationships, and the one I'm thinking about in particular, I don't even know what the man does. Like, I don't even know what his duties are. Like, maybe he cuts the grass and like hangs pictures on the wall, but other than that, I'm just very confused. And maybe because this is where I'm lacking. Earlier, I was congratulating myself on all the diversity that I've been exposed to, but haven't really been exposed to the inner workings of relationships where a heterosexual cisgender man is attracted to, loves, desires, married to, has children with a masculine woman. Is she masculine all of the time? Does she exude the typical traits that we associate with heterosexual cisgender men all the time, or is it just on occasion? And I know that there's a continuum. Like, some days, that man who's heterosexual and cisgender, who has his masculine woman, maybe sometimes she wants to put on a dress, right? And get all pretty and makeup and hair. And then she'll put on her dress, and then she'll go to her man and she'll ask him, hey, baby, does this make me look fat? You like my hair in curls, or should I wear it down? How you like? If I bend over, can you see too much? No, why are you covering your face, Rhea? I'm just wondering what that conversation is like. Do you think pink or the light yellow? Which one? Can you see my boxer shorts? It's kind of sheer. Can you see my boxers through here? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Sherry Tussler, Executive Director at Hunger Task Force Milwaukee, where she will discuss their free summer meals program for kids and families and the importance of their nutrition education program. Again, that is the Community Spotlight with the Hunger Task Force this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. Also, you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
God, I want to tell this story so bad. Oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble. Okay. I know this woman. Oh, she's so beautiful. She looks like a little angel. She's so just dainty and petite and feminine. It's almost like if a strong gust of wind blows, she'll just fly away. She walks in like glitter sprays in the air. She creates rainbows. She's just a delightful little princess of a woman, okay? Just cute as a button. Like she's 40. I think she just turned 40. But she looks like she's in her 20s. And she's so cute that everybody comments on it. It's actually mostly women. When she and I were hanging out, women would come up to her, oh my God, you are so cute. You're like a little doll. Men would look at her, and I think men know better. If a man is in public with a woman, don't compliment that woman. You can say something to the dude, but like that's a sign of aggression. If you compliment a woman that a man is with. But here's the thing about her. I mean, just cute. Dainty, little, petite, sweet. She even talks like this. She talks like a sweet little angel. She only wears men's underwear. She's not a lesbian. She's not bisexual. She's none of that. And she's got children. Children that she had with a man. It's the most confusing thing I've ever experienced. And so you're asking how I know. I'm not going to give you all the details, but she was wearing these cutoff shorts that they had holes in them. I mean, that's how they were designed. And so she had to wear something underneath them. Otherwise you would see her kibbles and her bits. And so I think she like asked me, do I like her shorts or something like that? I'm like, oh yeah, they're nice. And I said to her, it's like, I see why you have to wear those like little biker shorts underneath those shorts because people would see your kibbles and your bits. She was like, no, these are men's underwear. I was like, oh, that's peculiar. And then she proceeds to tell me that's all she wears. She does not own any quote unquote panties. She only wears men's underwear. Do you want to talk about confusion? Because she is the prototypical ultra dainty, super feminine, very submissive woman, but only wears men's underwear, and she's talking about the comfort. And I'm thinking to myself, because women, as with anybody else, love comfort. I'd imagine there's a lot of very comfortable women's underwear. I know there are because I've seen them. They are typically the panty for the granny. And why do women wear them? They're comfortable. But this woman, who will remain nameless, thinks that or believes that men's boxer briefs exceed the comfort of the panty meant for the granny. And it just was something I could not wrap my head around, and it's something that was very difficult for me to accept, right? Other than our dramatic differences in physical size, if her underwear is on the floor and my underwear is on the floor, I may not know whose is whose. And I'd put one leg in hers, but these are yours, because the leg holes would be smaller because she's a small lady. You don't ever want to look down on the ground after the deed to pick up your undergarments so you can get dressed and accidentally put on her underwear that kind of look like yours. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2. Truth Nation, this is Sherwin Hughes, and we want you to join us for our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We're bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, financial resources, healthcare resources, and free haircuts for the kids. So mark your calendars for Saturday, August 12th to come out to our Truth Family Fest, sponsored by Ascension, Wisconsin, Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, and Associated Bank.
Truth Nation, we want to celebrate the survivors of breast cancer and highlight their stories of fighting and thriving through their diagnosis. To celebrate survivors for a limited time only, we're selling specialty 1017 The Truth Thrive Through shirts. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to purchase our limited edition Thrive Through shirts supported by Obvious Shirts. All sale proceeds go to support the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Breast Cancer Care and Research Fund. To support this effort, you can visit 1017thetruth.com to buy a specialty Truth shirt and support the fight against breast cancer.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org.
We didn't know what to expect. We were just left in a hotel.
My mom was doing drugs in the house.
Tay and Brianna spent years of their childhood in homes that weren't safe. They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I didn't know what my future was.
I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was afraid of everything.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Brianna and Tay were adopted and now feel excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I really want to travel the world.
I'm going to be a mechanic, and I can focus on my career.
Right now, in the United States, there are more than 100,000 children in foster care, just like Brianna and Tay, who need a family now. Learn how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I got a bunch of text messages that run the gamut and have input on the variety of topics that I was referring to. Got some talking about school integration, people going to different Milwaukee public schools and then going to suburban schools through a variety of different Chapter 220 programs and issuances. Then you got the conversation about masculinity and femininity. And Nina, I want to get to your comment because I think it sums it up very well. There are some women who exude more masculine traits because they feel they have to. And if they had a man in their life that would allow them to be comfortable in their submissive femininity, they would certainly prefer that. But it probably, oh, look at that. I got a ding from Rhea, which is extremely rare. Thanks. But here's the other thing. It's probably tough to find, because I've heard that before. If I could just find a man that can make me feel comfortable, being super feminine and being ladylike and being submissive, oh, I would love that. But a bunch of these men are being raised by women, right? And so maybe that's modeling, right? If the woman exudes masculine traits, maybe her son will pick up some of those masculine traits, because if there is no dad, there's no father that's around. Maybe that woman feels, because you got some women that are raising 5 boys. And is she raising those boys to be the kind of man that will be desired by other women? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. If you can answer that, you're going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. You know who else can get a Nobel Peace Prize? Bob, you're on the new 1017 The Truth. So you want to have some input on the masculine and feminine conversation, huh? Can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, Sherwin, you started talking about women's draws, and I said, oh, man. You really...
Actually, it's men's draws, what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Now, listen. A woman my interpretation, a woman cannot give a man what it takes for him to be a man. And neither can a man give a woman what it takes for her to be a woman. They just can't. And now if they're trying and they give it a C+ or a C, I see things in my daughters that I didn't give them. I say, wow, because God will give it to them, what they need to be. And then that's how women treat their girls harder than they treat the boys in a lot of ways, because, they don't know. And then you got to look at how they were raised and try to understand that. That's why, and it's a lot of single mothers, and so you just got to try to understand, it really, they cannot give a woman cannot, and they really can't. My daughter came to me in Milwaukee one time, and took all my school bus money that people gave me for watching their kids all year at Christmas. And I asked them, who told you about your pig? And they looked at each other and laughed. And I said, that's all right, you don't have to tell. Because I forgot that. Who wants a woman dripping down and she don't even know?
Oh, Lord.
They probably found it out from my sisters or in school. I didn't know.
So, wait, Bob, you raised daughters, right? As a single dad.
And a boy.
How many daughters do you have?
I got 2 daughters and a son, and
Did you talk to your daughters about their period, about menstruation?
I told you, I forgot. I mean,
you forgot?
I asked them when they came to visit me in Milwaukee.
When they were 40? Like, when did you ask them?
When I was driving a school bus, and then they gave me money, and
so they were grown. They were adults when you had the conversation with them about.
And I said, who told you about your period? And then they looked at each other and laughed, and I said, that's okay. You don't have to tell. I didn't tell them. You know, it's ridiculous. I should have been able.
I think
to
you
tell
just
them.
illustrated why men should not ever, as single fathers, should not be raising girls.
Well, I tried to get them a mother, but it didn't.
How did you try to get them a mother?
Have a girlfriend. That was raising.
So you was dating for a mama for your kids. That's interesting because women will always say, my kids got a daddy. You don't got to be my kid's daddy, which is a total lie. But so you were looking for a woman to be a mother to your children.
Yeah, in the last 2 years that I raised them, that was the best time. I just said, forget it. I bombed out in that area. I bombed out. How I bombed out is too long of a story. And that day I came home with soul food dinners. They ate half of it and I got angry. You know what I mean? And that was the best time when I just said, forget it. These last 2 years, I'm raising them by myself. When they was 18, 19, and 20, I got me a bachelor's crib, and it was nice. And I went to the refrigerator, and I got half of a watermelon, and I couldn't believe it. Half of the watermelon was in there the next day. Well, when I was with the kids, they were gone, and the kids, my daughters came over and said, when you going to come over and see our place? And I said, I'm going to get over there. I got to get used to having enough sugar pops and frosted flakes and watermelon, and it's not gone. Like when I was with y'all, it was gone.
Oh, so you had to get used to the food that you'd have in the house would get consumed more quickly because you were raising your children in the house. And now that they were gone, you had a whole half of watermelon still. And you didn't understand why it was a whole half of watermelon because you didn't have the kids there eating the watermelon. We just went around the block to get next door. You were an empty nester. That's what happened. And so this whole, like when your daughters was getting their period, you just didn't know? You just didn't know. From when they were 12, 13 years old until they left the house, just every 28 days, you just was in a cloud. You just didn't know.
Sherwin, when you working 12 and 13 hours and you're tired and you come home and can I go to the mall? Can I go? Wait, you got yeah, as soon as I take a shower, I'm tired.
Okay. Fair enough.
I gotta watch. Huh?
I'm agreeing.
I'm watching a movie and then I'm going to sleep. This back-breaking work I'm doing. I'm not doing mind work. I'm doing back-breaking work, and that's the difference in when a man is doing back-breaking work, raise kids, than a woman.
Where was their mama? What did you do with her? And why was she not momming these girls? That's the wrong word. Where was the baby mama? Where was that lady that had your kids? Where was she at?
Well, she, I know she, later on, when they were grown, fell and she went to a nursing home, not when they were kids, when they were grown. And then my kids came to me because they thought I'd feel like, no, she didn't help me raise you. I said, your mother has done more than any woman on this earth.
When did you and the mother split?
When they were 5, 6, and 7, like I said.
Okay, and then when y'all split, where did the mother go? Because it sounds like she didn't get custody or placement of the children. So what happened to her?
That is not fair, Sherman.
It's Sherwin, and it's entirely fair because if you didn't tell your daughters about menstruation. My natural curiosity is, where was their mother?
That is not fair, Sherwin. And, because,
Was it a secret?
Well, it's not necessarily a secret. It's just something that don't need to be said.
Did she pay you child support?
Yeah, I told you, man. What? This is a man. I ain't got time to be going to court and looking for child support and all like that, man. I gotta make some money and raise these kids. Where I got time to be? Give me some money.
You were raising this woman's children, and maybe you could have been around a little more if you had some financial help from the egg donor.
I think they're mine too. If she wants to do whatever she wants to do, then she can do it, and and whatever.
So you just let the mama she just walked out. She was like, "Here, take these kids. I'm gonna have them here. You raise the kid. I'm out of here. I'm going to Vegas. I'm out. I'm going to Montreal, Canada." She just left. Did she check on the kids?
Sherwin, you're not fair, Sherwin.
How am I? Bob, I am asking questions of you that everybody wants to know the answers to, because if it was reversed and you were a single mama raising 2 daughters and a son, everybody would want to know where the daddy at. Now you keeping it a secret where this one. Were you and her ever married?
The 7 years, yeah. 5, 6, and 7, we left. But look.
And so you got divorced?
Yeah.
Did she remarry?
Sherwin. Now, see, that's not fair, Sherwin.
That's not a personal question to ask if your ex-wife got remarried.
The most important thing is when they were grown and she failed, and then she had to go to a nursing home. And then my kids asked me, said, "Mama failed," and what? I said, "Your mother has done more for you than anybody else on any woman on this earth."
How? If she left the babies with you? So when they were grown, she failed.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, how? Because it sounds like she didn't have very much interaction in your children's life.
Sherwin, you're too hard on women, Sherwin. You're a man made in the image of God, man. You're a strong man, man. You gotta. You're too hard on women, I think.
You think that I'm being hard on the woman that left you to raise her children, and you think I'm being hard?
No, you're hard on women, period. That's what I think.
Or maybe, Bob, you're too soft on them.
No, I'm in the reality.
Okay.
On how it is.
All right, then.
Homie ain't got.
Let's not start calling. Don't call yourself homie. We don't like when you do that. Let's not do that. Let's not refer to ourselves as homie in the third person. Let's not. Your name is Bob.
Why is that?
So you're not gonna tell me where the woman went, but she did more for your children than anybody else did. But did she see him on the weekends?
She went 9 months. She potty trained them. She did. I mean, they got to be 5, 6, and 7. That's a lot, and they're a lot.
No, it ain't. That was like what? The first 3 innings out of a 9-inning baseball game she was there for. So did she get them on the weekends? Did she come and get the babies on the weekends or every other weekend or something?
That's not necessary.
A little bit. I'm just curious because you are a unique situation. There's not many men that are raising their children without the influence or presence of the mother. And I'm just wondering, because it's almost like you're making up excuses for her. Did she see her children after y'all divorced? Or when she left you, did she leave the babies too?
When a woman has a baby 9 months and then potty trains them and makes them be okay.
And that's, hold on, Bobby, you think that's her only responsibility to her children, is just to carry the babies, potty train them, and then just be out? Because if it was a man that was there when the woman was pregnant, he stayed long enough just to see the baby's potty train, and then he left, you know what we would call him? A sorry sapsucker and a deadbeat.
Yeah, I had a hard father. I'm sure glad I had a hard father because, homie.
We're not calling each other homie.
I'm sorry. I was talking about me, because, I just, whatever, I ain't got time to be going.
Well, Bob, you have plenty of time. But if you don't want to tell me, I'm going to stop asking, but I got to take a break because we're just basically going around in circles. You over here sticking up and protecting this woman.
There's one thing I would like to tell you. It's really...
Make it quick.
Okay. There's a Milwaukee daughter, that was going to work, making way more money than the man. And then he stopped working for 4 or 5 years to watch the kids because everybody was charging him a lot. And that woman made the kids think he was the rearing of the kids because he had a hobby taking pictures. And the kids thought he was actually running the house. And, making the money and everything, but she made the real thing. And he had a little hobby that they did on the weekend. That was so nice of that Milwaukee daughter to do that.
Your Milwaukee daughter?
Yeah, and he appreciated it because he, and she made the kids think he was the sole provider.
Oh, that's very nice of her. All right.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
All right, I'll tell you.
Okay, then, Bob. That whole conversation exhausted me. Ree, I was not wrong for asking those questions. Those were legitimate questions because if it was a woman who was raising 3 children on her own, we would want to know where the father was, what happened to the father. Did the father have visitation? Did the father have custody? Did the father have placement? And so I asked Bob, oh, Sherwin, you being too hard on that woman. Bob, next time you call me, we're going to pick that conversation up right where we left off. I need answers. Well, looks like Al is holding. This is going to be a fun day. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's that time, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. From Thursday, August 3rd to Sunday, August 13th, check out the Wonder Fair Wheel, Spin City Amusement Ride and Game Area, and of course, all the crazy yet tasty new food options, such as the deep fried bacon cheese curd, a seaweed fish sandwich, loaded potato kettle corn, and many of your fan favorites. Vendors will accept cash inside the State Fair, but parking and admission will be cashless. So make sure you come prepared for the 11 days of fun.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Find your next job at the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Working Wednesday Job Fair on August 16th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Local employers, including the Milwaukee Bucks, Generac, and Mitchell International Airport will be there with jobs that need to be filled now. Meet face-to-face with potential employers, and individuals with past convictions are welcome. Be at GMUL's Working Wednesday on August 16th at GMUL's main office located at 435 West North Avenue in the historic Bronzeville neighborhood.
I've got some cheese curds that I'm willing to share. Then I want to ride that giant slide over there. So if you've got 11 days to spare, won't you come with me to the Wisconsin State Fair? Won't you come with me to the Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin State
There's
Fair.
something for everyone at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular August 3rd through the 13th.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
That was a fascinating conversation. Now that I think about it, why are you shaking your head, Rhea? Like, my questions were legitimate. Like, there's nothing wrong with my line of questioning. Those were inquisitive attempts at trying to figure out where the woman was. But then he fast forwarded to when the kids were grown. And the reason why I was asking him those questions because this man said in front of God and everybody else that he forgot to tell his daughters about menstruation. That, yeah, I don't. He said he was working too much. He just didn't know. He's like, oh, I forgot. No, he didn't want to talk about it. That's got to be very difficult for a man, for single dads that are raising daughters, because that is something that we biologically don't experience. And ladies, that's horrible. Because from a man's perspective, I mean, that's got to slow you down a little bit. You know what I mean? There's certain things you can't do. Certain clothes you can't wear. I wouldn't wear white pants. I don't wear white pants anyway because I'm a slob. I spill stuff. The bloating, the cramping, a little bit of irritability, not a lot, but a little bit. And it's every month. And then you're like, oh, thank God I didn't get my period. I'm tired of the bloating and the cramping. Oh my God, it's terrible. But then it's time to panic, right? When you don't get the period. That ain't, I think that most heterosexual, cisgender grown women have had the scare. And so here's what y'all do. Then y'all find it necessary to scare us. I'm late. What? The two worst words I think you can say to a man who's not your husband, who you're not involved with, who, I don't know, maybe he doesn't even like you really all that much, is that two-word text it's terrifying. However, that two-word text can be like the feelings you get when you see, because there's no other dialogue. It's not good morning. It's not how are you? How's your day going? No. It's I'm late. And then nothing else after that. But then, I don't know, a couple weeks later, I got my period. Party time! Party people!
How many times have you gotten this text message, Sherwin?
If I've gotten it once, it was too much. If I got it one time. Well, because I said text message, that clearly means that I've received that text message in the modern era. I think I started texting in like 2004. Sprint was late to the text message game. Or even the phone call. I'm late. Oh, there's nothing you can do. And then like men start going through like all the reasons why, like, well, maybe you've been stressed. And how's your sleeping been? Have you been, like, we all of a sudden become doctor. Okay, so so the stress, okay. Have you been doing a lot of athletics? Have you been training very hard? Have you been, okay, I'm just going to write all this stuff down here. Just going to make sure, see if I can diagnose. Whew! Man, there's nothing worse because, like, now you got to talk about, well, what happens if you're pregnant? That conversation should happen before you do the do. All right, let's talk to Al, shall we? Hello, Al. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, my thing is, why would you be scared? I mean, if you going in without a license, where you think those deposits going? They're gonna go somewhere.
First of all, a couple of things.
So why would you be scared?
Listen, she can be late and be on birth control, and a man can use a prophylactic, and she can still get pregnant.
Yeah, that's true too. But if you know you didn't bust that prophylactic, I wouldn't be scared.
No, there's too many women that have had children when the condom stayed on. No, it's possible.
Okay, well then. Well, I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't, get nervous. I mean, if she's pregnant, she's pregnant. That's all that's to it.
No,
that's
a whole other human being that's going to take place. That's going to be formed. Another person.
Well, my thing is if you going fishing and you going diving, that you making deposits, don't be worried about that. And if you're not using the mouth, that's your only coverage. But what I was going to say is there are a lot of men that's like Bob who raise their daughters. Now, Bob is from a different time and a different generation. And you have men today who are raising their daughters and they might not ask for no child support because some of those men, even though they might know she might not be no good, they might have a certain love or care for her and they might be like, well, why should I drag her through the mud?
That's irresponsible.
To get child support now.
Because that money is to take care of those children.
That might be true too, but what if she don't got no money? And then a lot of men look at it like this. Why should I drag her through court and end up with not getting anything anyway? So, it's two sides to the coin. So you have some men who be like, well, I'm just going to concentrate on raising them. And whatever she didn't do, that's going to be between her and her daughters. But right now, I have to be a man and raise their daughters. Because, you do have a lot of men who raise their daughters and talk to them about their menstrual, and I think that's a wonderful job.
Wait. You think that there's a lot of men that are raising daughters without any help or influence from the mother, like deadbeat mothers? You're saying?
Of course, I think so. Yes, yes, and those men are those men who say, "Well, I'm not going to sit here and try to drag her through court because right now raising these two girls is the most important." Because keep in mind, when you drag them through court, you're not getting all the money from child support anyway. You only getting a fraction, So some of them rather just go on and raise her. And if the daughters decide not to talk to their mother, that's between them and their mother. So, you do have men out there who are raising them and teaching them about their menstruals and things of that nature, too. I think the good side is when those men raise their daughters will know how to deal with a man from a man's point of view. Because sometimes women raise their daughters as, he gonna come sweep you off your feet and all that. Then you got some men who just hardcore with their daughters and say, I'm going to teach you how to deal with him. Because somebody's going to break your heart, but I'm going to teach you how to break his heart, crush his soul, and put your high heel in the back of his neck, not the front. So there's two sides to the coin. But see, some men think from a normal side of, well, the mother that. But some men like, I don't have time for that. If she's going to do what she's going to do, she's going to do it. But if she's not, that's between her and her daughters. I'm just worried about taking care of mine. That's all it is.
All right.
And I just leave it at that. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Al. Wow, it's amazing how we can make up excuses for deadbeat mothers. So the man is going to be raising the kids anyway. Dragging the deadbeat mother through court is not going to impact how he's raising his kids, but I think he needs financial support because we would encourage a woman to take a man to child support court. And here's the thing, that's not going to impact his schedule as a single dad. It's that woman that has the court dates. And here's the thing, Al said, like, oh, well, that single father is not going to get all the money anyway. Oh, yes, he is. There's this thing called arrears. If a man and a woman are together, let's say they're married even. Well, no, marriage is different. And they have 3 children. And she just ups and leaves. She doesn't want to be a mother anymore. She's going to leave the children with the dad. And let's say she leaves when the kids are 5, 6, and 7 years old. She's just out of there. She goes and moves to Vegas or Portland or somewhere and moves away. And the dad realizes, yeah, this is incredibly difficult raising these 3 children on just my salary. I need assistance in taking care of this woman's children. She left their kids. They go to court. Guess what? And let's say the kids there were 5, 6, and 7 when she left. Now the kids are 11, 12, and 13. Once the court order has been issued, that deadbeat mother now owes arrears. So all of the years in which she was gone, she now has to pay whatever the amount is based upon her salary, like 30% of her income, plus interest. Let me tell you about child support interest in case you didn't know. It ain't like your credit card interest. No, it's not like your mortgage interest. It's not like the interest you pay on your auto loan. Child support interest is calculated daily. If you owe arrears, let's say this woman is $10,000 in the arrears, which is an actual, like, that's a low amount. Every day that passes that she does not pay off that $10,000 in arrears, they're putting interest on that amount in perpetuity. These kids could be 25 years old. In fact, it was a man that called not that long ago, and he was complaining about child support. And it sounded like he had young children. And eventually during the conversation, he called since we've been here at the Avenue, so within the last year. I was like, well, how old are your children? This man was like, my youngest is 29. I was like, wait, what? He was so deep in the arrears that he still owed child support 11 years after that child became an adult. That just blew my mind. Oh, look, now people want to call. So hang on a second, Rhea. Is line one Rob or Bob? Oh, Rob wants to talk about Bob. Okay. Guess I ain't talking about young people running for office yet. Maybe we'll do that in a little while. All right, everybody, hang on. We got to talk to Andy. Wait a minute. Is this the Andy? What have I done? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Looking for natural health and beauty solutions? Earth Angel Studio has you covered. Our organic products nourish your body and promote overall wellness. Try our unique tea blends for a perfect balance of flavor and health benefits. Join our exclusive membership for first access to new products and services, members-only sales, and exciting prize giveaways. Our experts offer top-quality spiritual health services like yoga, meditation, and Reiki. Visit Earth Angel Studio in Milwaukee, Sherman, Phoenix for transformative health and wellness solutions.
Good Karma Brands is celebrating Thriving Through. We are proud to share an encouraging story from The Truth's General Manager, Cherie Harris, of thriving through her breast cancer diagnosis.
What I knew about breast cancer before I was diagnosed, that I know that is tumors and that lies in your body, and it can metastasize, which means it can spread throughout your body if you don't take care of it right away. So being proactive and having a mammogram every year, whether you're 35 or 40, is key. What I know about it now is that there's different types of breast cancer. It's not just one type, and what I have is triple negative breast cancer, which is very aggressive, one of the most aggressive, and it comes in different stages. So understanding what that is, understanding the stages. Just because something is stage 1 doesn't mean it's less harmful than stage 4. It's all about your care and the response to that care. And when you understand that, you'll be in a better space.
Has anything surprised you from either what you knew then versus what you know now? Were you surprised by anything?
Yes, I was surprised. I mean, everybody knows when you have breast cancer, the first thing people think about, I'm going to lose my hair. That is the least of your worries. We need to understand is that you're going to lose living cells in your body. You're going to have chemo brain, which means it's going to harder remember things, form synthesis, simple synthesis. You're going to sleep a lot. You can't control that. Your eating habits are going to change, so you got to be mindful of that. There's a lot of things I was unaware about. Nausea is one of those things as well, but can be controlled, and you should not be afraid of that. So just understanding like the adversities of your care, which means, you know, the side effects and how to counteract those side effects, which means how to prevent it, I think the outcome would be better. And that's what worked for me.
Support our Thrive Through initiative by buying an exclusive Truth Thrive Through shirt by visiting 1017thetruth.com. All proceeds go to support breast cancer research. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, I'ma tell it, Rhea. More people coming forward with allegations against Lizzo.
I said okay.
It's looking real Cosby-ish. Just wait. So now it's like 6. Give it a couple months, it's gonna be 60. That's right.
I never said that she didn't do it. I just said, let's see how it plays out.
Okay, fair enough. I will respect that. I'm just waiting on someone to come forward with a new set of allegations accusing Lizzo of trying to eat them. What, too far? Oh, where's your sense of humor? I was on tour with Lizzo for 6 months, and you see this right here where my pinky was bit off. Lizzo. Let's talk to Rob. You're on the new 1017 The Truth.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sherman. I just want to say I think Bob was afraid, or he just didn't want to admit, on air at least anyway, that the mother either A, lived on a crack bench, or a prostitution ring, or both.
Hey, Rob, let's not say that. Let's not jump to that conclusion. That sounds pretty extreme.
I mean, there's no other way that I can see it. I mean, there's no other way I can see it, man. That's usually what happens. When a woman leaves, if she don't leave for another man, it's either she went on a crack bench. And that's what it is. Thank you, man.
That's really all you call to say, Rob? How do you, first of all, how do you know? Or do you know women that have left on a crack bench?
I do. And they left their kids. They left the family to go on crack. Once you take a hit of that blue demon, that white demon, you never go back.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Well, I appreciate your call. He just hung up. He just left. So if you guys want to call, our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. I kind of started the show with some relatively serious topics. Well, I think this is a serious topic too, but how did we get to crack binge? First of all, y'all, I didn't know until very recently that people even still smoke crack. Because there's so many more like designer drugs. There's better drugs. Crack is like kind of like watching an old console TV. It's old school. It's nostalgic. It's like an antique drug. You ever remember those big old console TVs? Rio, you're probably too young to remember them. They're like a big old piece of furniture.
One, and I also had a rotary phone. So
exactly. Crack is the rotary phone of drugs. It still gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? It's been upgraded. So fentanyl and fentanyl analogs are like smartphones of drugs, and like ketamine. And there's a whole bunch of others that are just more designed. They're all very dangerous. Say no to drugs, everybody. But crack just seems, you know how sometimes people go antiquing? They go to thrift stores. I wonder if drug dealers, like, here's our modern selection. Here's our designer new for 2023 assortment of intoxicants. And then over here in this section, where your grandmama would shop for drugs, we have crack. And those little pipes they sell at gas stations with a little rose in them. We have the little rose crack pipes here for the antique collector of drugs. Let's talk to Andy. You're on the new 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Doing very well, Mr. Hughes. Why doesn't Rita like me when her voice diminished when I called? I said I'd like to talk to Mr. Hughes. She said, "Okay, I'll put you on." What have I done to her?
No, she sounds like that with everybody, even me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Rob needs to rein in the allegations. Good Lord.
Yeah, I know that was pretty serious allegation.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that regarding child support and women, Mother always used to say what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and we should have high or equal expectations of women as we do of men, which I think you've already said, but I wanted to also speak from a male perspective on that one. And I think that the Lizzo is in trouble.
I agree.
Yes, that's all I had for you today, Mr. Hughes. That's it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Andy, for that. Everyone sounds different. What if that's actually really how he talks? What if he had a real bad accident when he was a kid? What if when Andy was like maybe a teenager, he was like, "Hey, everybody, my name is Andy. How are you? Doing good. Just here hanging out." And then he got to like a real bad accident and they didn't think he was going to survive. And then when he woke up, he's like, "I'm so glad I survived that accident." It could be. Milk pea. What's milk?
Or his dad.
What does dad say?
He made him drink pee.
Wait, what?
You forgot about this? This is before I left.
Are you saying this on the air?
Yeah, I am. Because he said it on the air. He called in and said it.
I think I do remember him saying he drank. Look at the phone just blowing up. All right, let's talk to Linda. Hello, Linda.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Rhea, Brother Z, and Truth Nation. Good to see you. I'm glad you're over your hangover from last Friday.
What are you talking about? I was hungover?
Yeah, you was hungover, I heard.
Who told you that?
I heard that you had a wild Thursday night. You like Thursday nights, huh?
Why am I not recalling this? So I went out. Rhea, were you here on that Friday? And I was hungover. Did I say I was hungover? No, I was not.
You were hungover.
No, I wasn't. Y'all thought I was hungover.
Yeah, no, Sharon, you really were, because Sharon, I didn't know when they were saying that you were. I didn't know it, but then I started watching the replay on YouTube, and yeah, you were real subtle. You weren't yourself.
That doesn't mean I'm hungover. You gonna have people thinking I'm old drunk. Maybe I was just chilling.
But I wanted to comment about this topic. I was fortunate to have 3 sons, and my oldest son has full custody of his son, who was born with E. coli. So his mom, being young, did not adjust or accept her son. So the judge awarded my son full custody. And then my second son has full custody of his daughter, which is biracial. And, of course I was instrumental in all of that and raising them and helping them with, certain things like the granddaughter and her menstrual cycle. He was like asking me, what do I do? How do I approach this? And I was just like, let her have her free time during this menstrual time, because you don't understand the hormones that are going on. So let her express herself and be herself and have this grace and space to go through it. That's how I responded to that, in helping him to teach her and learn for himself about that. So, yeah, I think that more men need to be recognized for the tremendous responsibility that they are doing when they are taking on both parental roles, because the female mothers were not involved in the upbringing or the raising of their child. So, I just, really, I think it's a really good topic, and I think that we need to have more organizations for single black men, for real, that are raising their children, or just because of the system, the, child support system, and, they come into it and they are already judged as a deadbeat dad before they even, speak a word. So, yeah, I think there should be some support systems for men who are raising children, or just, paying child support and being caught up in the system.
So it's really deadbeat mamas out here That is something that we don't ever discuss, and I don't want men to feel afraid to talk about these deadbeat mamas. And it's really interesting because you don't really hear much about single fathers. Obviously, the majority of single parents are probably single mothers, but here's something we certainly do not hear from single dads. They don't tell the world how they're a victim. They don't reach out for everybody to help them. And I'm a single dad and help me. I need all this money. They are much more likely to do it on their own, which I find interesting, but also it's oppressive. Because when a woman tells you she's a single mother, the sympathy floodgates open immediately. We got to help her. She's helpless and she needs all the resources she can get. Single dads won't even tell you sometimes. They're just raising the kids.
Yeah, but Sharon, that's because she's expressing her discomfort through her femininity, and he's expressing his through his masculinity. So I think that, you're making a really tremendous point here. Because men go inward.
So our masculinity that prevents us from asking for help when we need help raising the children, it sounds like it's burden. Masculinity is pride plus burden, which is not fair. But Linda, I got to take a break. Appreciate your call, though.
All right, hon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Linda. Wow. Single daddies, call in. We finna take that broad to court.
She's not wrong. That was a good point.
Linda makes a lot of good points. But men shouldn't have to put all this burden on themselves when I'm just trying to figure out, other than a crack binge, why do women just walk away from their children? I can see walking away from the man. Totally get it. I understand that. He's no good. He's stupid. He's whatever. But how do you carry a child and just say, nah, I'm cool. Go ahead. Good luck. Here's some money for some Pampers. It leaves $9.18 on the dresser, and she just gallivants off into the sunset. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
August is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the greatness of Black businesses in our community. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. This is why I will be spotlighting 4 Black businesses in Milwaukee. Follow 1017 The Truth on social media and YouTube so you can hear the incredible stories of these Black businesses. And make sure y'all buy Black all month long. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Are you craving mouth-watering, unforgettable food? I'll Take a Bite of That has got you covered. Try their hot honey chicken with homemade honey infused with the best hot peppers, or their famous nachos. They have homemade seasonings on everything, from fries to burgers to chicken. Ordering online is a breeze and hassle-free. Just visit I'llTakeABiteOfThat.com for your pickup or delivery needs, or follow them on Instagram or Facebook. Visit I'll Take a Bite of That. It's amazing.
When looking for a healthcare provider, you want someone who genuinely cares about you, which is why Health Connections Incorporated is where it's at. They're a Black, woman-led nonprofit organization that provides both clinical and non-clinical healthcare. The direct clinical care they provide includes primary care, HIV care and prevention, and transgender health. HCI leaders are advocates, activists, decision makers, speakers, organizers, and collaborators on social determinants of health that impact healthcare access and health equity for all. Sign up for their mailing list at healthconnectmke.org.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people. ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, I'm going to read as many of these text messages as I can until I have to break before I start hour 3. So Reggie says, Hughes, Vincent didn't exist until the 1970s. And then somebody sent me a screenshot. Vincent didn't start enrolling students, and it was just 9th and 10th grade until 1979. But Vincent was created to be an agricultural specialty school for white students from the suburbs to integrate the Milwaukee public school system. So that was the intention of creating Harold S. Vincent High School. Then Reggie says, yeah, times are a-changing. I am that 70s show. Son of an MPS employee who got pulled out of the public system by 3rd grade, a thing called busing was all the rage. In 1969, 1970, Lloyd Street School was very white. I got bused from Victor L. Berger to Lloyd Street, and that's when the games began. And I asked what year that was. Reggie says, I am the first generation of Milwaukee in my family. Mom and dad were, I think he's trying to say immigrants. Mom and dad arrived in 1941. Mother had an elder sister who got here in 37. And auntie was employed in Manitowoc building ships and submarines. Reggie, are you African-American black person? Just curious. It's an interesting story. Madison says, Dr. Ken was right. I completely agree with his beliefs are about climate change. The planet has been here before humans and will still be here after our existence. I'm just saying. So human beings are just tenants on the earth. We're basically renting, right? And there can be a building that's been around since, 1925. And you can have tenants live in this building that's been around since before these people were even born. Building was built in 1925, but the tenants can ruin it. They can hurt the structure. They can break the walls. They can break out the windows. And you can say, well, the building is still going to be there, but it may be permanently damaged. The earth will outlive us. We will not outlive the earth. So this isn't about earth still surviving. Oh, it will. But we are killing one another in the process. Think of human beings as a virus, because we are. We spread very quickly and very easily. I mean, the last 30 years, the population on this planet has probably close to doubled. Certainly in the last 40 years. We're a virus. And the thing about a virus is either the virus kills or damages the host. Like when you get a virus and you get corona, the virus relentlessly attacks your body, and sometimes it can kill you. Or the host can kill the virus. Do you know why you get a fever when you get sick? Does anybody even inquire as to why your core temperature rises when you get sick? That is your body raising its temperature to try and kill the virus, because viruses can only survive in a narrow temperature range. Human beings are viruses. And the earth, through global warming and climate change, is raising its core temperature to destroy us. And when you do that, you are throwing off a very delicate ecosystem. You wait until this fall. You just wait. You wait until this fall when hurricane season starts. You wait and you see what happens to Florida. You know, the hurricanes get their fuel from warm ocean water. You guys know that, right? The warmer the water is, the stronger the storms are. Do you know that the water surrounding the state of Florida is 100 degrees? They say when you go into either the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico on the west side of Florida, it is like going into a hot tub. You just wait. Now, the earth is going to be here. It's just what we are doing as far as carbon emissions go, because you got to keep in mind the first, 150 years we were burning wood, fossil fuels, and coal. There was no even thought to the damage we could be doing to the environment. Here's the other thing. I think some people think that when you burn things, whether it be emissions from a vehicle or burning coal or burning other fossil fuels, that those particles, that particulate matter, just goes into outer space and it just goes away. No, it stays trapped under the Earth's atmosphere. And through that layer of carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct of combustion, the sun's rays are blocked from reflecting off of the polar ice cap. So think of us, we're in a closed system. The Earth is a dome. It is sealed. And all of the things that we emit, all of the things that we burn over the years, there's 7 billion people on Earth. And here's the thing. Western countries are now starting to adopt more sophisticated philosophies when it comes to reducing our carbon emissions, but you got to keep this in mind. There are countries that have over 1 billion people, like India and China, that right now, when it comes to them getting online and being energy independent, they're where we were 100 years ago. So they're still burning wood and coal, and the super polluting that they are doing. These are billion people nations. They are going to pollute more in a single year than the United States probably did in 5. So even though Western countries and Europe, we've entered into these climate accords and we want to use more electric power and we want to be much more smarter when it comes to, carbon emissions, China and India, which essentially are still third world countries, are nowhere near that. So even if we do conservation efforts here in the West, China and India are going to set the entire planet back. So, here's the thing. If y'all don't believe in climate change, it doesn't make it untrue. We saw that during the coronavirus pandemic. People only understood the pandemic to their level of science interpretation, right? And sometimes the conversation about science exceeds people's ability to understand it. That doesn't mean that all the stuff you don't understand isn't true. It just makes you a non-believer. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Join us Saturday, August 12th for our free open to the public True Family Fest from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. There will be live concerts, free haircuts for the kids, free backpacks filled with school supplies, delicious foods, healthcare resources, financial education resources, and free giveaways. We can't wait to see you Saturday at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our True Family Fest. The True Family Fest is sponsored by Ascension, Wisconsin, Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, Associated Bank, and MATC.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Sherry Tussler, Executive Director at Hunger Task Force Milwaukee, where she will discuss their free summer meals program for kids and families and the importance of their nutrition education program. Again, that is the Community Spotlight with the Hunger Task Force this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Maggots are infesting one woman's Milwaukee apartment. Pictures and videos show dozens of maggots that neighbors said were falling from the ceiling. Oh my God, I got a picture of it. I'm highly, highly, highly upset. I didn't put the maggots in here. I don't pay rent for maggots. I didn't do this, said Sherlonda Carter. Carter's apartment is typically very put together, clean, and organized. However, last Thursday, things took a turn. I was in the shower, and one fell. As I turned around, I saw one going across the wall. Oh! As I rinse off in the shower, and I look down, and maggots are in the shower with me. There's maggots on my rugs in the bathroom. Then I go out into the hallway of the bathroom, and maggots are on the carpet. Carter said she thinks the larva came from the apartment above her. In June, that tenant was found dead in a car behind the... Oh, my God. I bet there's another dead body in that unit above, because maggots are only going to be where there's a food source. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's horrible. I've never seen anybody go up there and clean the apartment. The smell has been going on for a while. Last time we had a situation like this, they went in that apartment and smelled real bad. It was Jeffrey Dahmer and a bunch of body parts. Who did this story for TMJ4? Jenna Ray. Whew. Jenna Ray is so thick. I can't say that, Rhea. She is. That's a compliment. She's thicker than a Culver's milkshake. That's thick. What? Is that?
Don't be weird.
Why is that weird?
Don't be weird.
That's a compliment.
Just don't do it.
Don't do that? It's okay, fine. She's not.
Do you know this woman?
I'm familiar with her journalism.
Don't do that.
Then I can't do
weird.
that. No. Sorry, Jenna. Call me. 833-212-1017. So I can't. What compliments are acceptable?
You say all this stuff about, workplace compliments, can't say
I
this, can't
don't
say that
work
about
with
women,
her.
blah, 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 blah. But then you're going to talk about this woman and her body
In a
air?
positive way.
You don't know her. That's weird.
Okay, I think that is more acceptable than me saying any kind of compliment or even something negative about someone that I actually work with here. She works at a whole nother place doing a different kind of job. She's a different person. What if I said, oh, she's nice? Can I say she's nice? Oh, I guess I can't say she's nice. I don't know her.
Should have led with that, maybe.
Well, can I backtrack and say
No,
she's nice?
It's too late now.
All right. Nena says, I'd love to be submissive, although I am extremely independent and I give off dominance, but that is because I don't have someone I can rely on in that way. I want to be submissive, but I will not let the blind lead me. Huh. Okay. Rhea is agreeing with that commentary.
That's my girl. She's my girl.
Okay, Nana, you're Rhea's girl now. Oh, I want to say she's got a bunch of children, and that's tough. Like, do anybody care that men, especially childless men, why would they involve themselves with a woman who has other children, especially if there's multiple baby fathers? Because a lot of times those pregnancies resulted in, if she's got 4 kids and 4 baby daddies, and that's not uncommon. You may think it's uncommon. Not in Milwaukee, it's not. Talking about all the things she's looking for in a man. Good for her. She should be able to have all the things she's looking for in a man, and I want her to find that. But what man is going to be like, I sure wish I could find a woman that has multiple children by multiple men, because at some point, that woman just made a series of bad decisions and she made some mistakes, and that next man is probably going to be her next bad decision, right? A woman who has children can literally say, yeah, I don't want to date a man that has kids. And we'll be like, okay, good for you. You set your standards, girl. You set your boundaries. But men, if they say they don't want to date a woman that has children, y'all have a fit. That's the part I never understood. You know how hard it is to date a woman with children, especially if you end up liking the children more than the woman, because the relationship can dissolve. You know, people, once they get to know each other, you find out you don't really have that much in common. You know, life can drift you in a different direction romantically. But man, those kids are fantastic. I had that happen to me before. I felt like I was breaking up with the children. And that's tough on those kids because they saw me around quite a bit. And I felt bad. I mean, I wasn't going to adopt them now. Let's everybody relax, slow your roll. I wasn't going to do nothing like that, you see. But I don't know. I wonder about those kids because they're way grown now. This was in 2002. That was 21 years ago. Her youngest was 3. Now her youngest is like 24 years old. I hope he's alive. I hope so. Rodney says, Milwaukee Public Schools began construction on September 13th, 1977. Within 2 years, on September 4th, 1979, the school opened its doors to the first 9th and 10th grade classes, publicly announcing its identity as Harold S. Vincent High School. Well, that's interesting. Thank you for sending that, Rodney. Chucky said, I had white coworkers who had controlling wives. Example, when payday came around, the wives would give them $50 for the week for food, gas, etc. Unbelievable. Maybe those men were very irresponsible with money. Some people can't be trusted with their paychecks, especially if there's obligations and rents, mortgages, bills, debt to take care of. And maybe that person, the man, got himself into major financial trouble, got himself into debt, and maybe the woman is better skilled in handling the finances. In that case, take his check. Especially if he likes going to the casino like Bob do, or even worse, he like going to the shake joint. Because at the casino, on occasion, you can win. At the strip club, you don't really win. The best you could do is maybe come out even, if that. And what's even at a strip club when you spend $1,000? What, you get a date with a stripper, and you're still going to have to pay for that? There's no winning at a strip club. Brittany, I don't want to read that. What is wrong with y'all? No, you know what, Brittany? No, I'm going to read it. Well, her first text message, she sent several, is I love me some Sherwin. Oh, thank you, Brittany. I love me some Brittany. Oh, here we go. Men's drawers feel so good on my skin. Way better than panties. No BS. So then rub his underwear on your face then, Brittany. Don't wear them. Men's drawers feel so good on my skin. Way better than panties. Oh, she's not done. They don't roll. They don't move. They just sit, and they are the softest cotton. I know that they make comfortable women's underwear. What is, I hope I didn't start something here where there's a bunch of women out here that wear men's underwear.
I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't. But my mom also does as well.
I know you didn't say that on the air. I know you didn't. So, so y'all trying to hide this from us, huh? It's a whole bunch of women out there in the world that when they go underwear shopping, they shop in the men's section.
I mean, I had a pair of boxers or two for a while. They're comfy and just wear around the house.
That's totally different. Like, I've seen women wear boxers just as like comfortable attire, but you'll wear underwear under those. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Is it really women that? Well, obviously you're not going to Victoria's Secrets if you wear men's underwear. So what? They going to Target, they going to Walmart, they're going to Kohl's. So, oh, excuse me, where's the men's underwear section?
But you're also getting more bang for your buck too, because sometimes you can buy them like packaged.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is like, I'd rather spend the same $7, $8, $9 on 5 pair of underwear versus just one.
You know, I was always told that, you know, when women wear certain undergarments, when they wear unmentionables, sometimes when they wear lingerie, and here's the thing, like, no one's going to see it. They're single, right? But they still have really pretty, lacy, frilly lingerie that they wear under their clothes because they know it's there. And it makes them feel sexy, right? I've heard that my entire life. They'll say, Sherwin, I don't buy this for a man. I buy this for me because when I'm wearing this sexy, lacy lingerie under my clothes, I know it's there and I feel sexy. So if women are wearing men's underwear, does that make y'all feel like a real man? Man, these boxers I love these. Oh, I feel like I can go build a house right now. I feel like I'm going to go do some construction. Hey, anybody need any help with any labor? I got on these boxer briefs. Just call me up. Anybody need a deadbeat dad all of a sudden? I'll do that too. Anybody want me to leave some kids? Got on these men's underwear. What's wrong with people? Uncle Steve says, so you don't like boy shorts on a woman? Brother, boy shorts are women's underwear. They're cut. Okay, Uncle Steve, you got me thinking you don't know what boy shorts are. They are cut in a particular, they're cheeky. They got the cheeks and they're very lacy sometimes. There's different styles of them. I'm talking about men's boxer briefs are not comparable to boy shorts that women wear. Boy shorts, quite honestly, might be my favorite type of undergarments on a lady because they're very enhancing, you see. I think thongs are played out. I think thongs kind of got played out in the early 2000s. After the thong song came out, probably in the late 90s, maybe 2000-ish, y'all just went crazy. And people were wearing thongs that absolutely should not have been. And they got boring because they weren't unique. When the thong song came out, like the only time you ever really saw thongs before that, like y'all was not wearing thongs in the 80s. You weren't. You were not. Maybe like T-backs, but certainly not G-strings. And then the thong song came out and it was like, oh, we're going to wear thongs. Now thongs are just boring. But I don't think that women wear them for the aesthetic necessarily. Sometimes you guys don't want panty lines, which I suppose I understand that. You don't want anyone to be able to, if you're wearing something sheer, you don't want people to have their eyes interrupted by your underwear lines. You just want them to see the shape and the curvature of your body. 262-825 says, Sherwin, yesterday you were laughing about your doorbell ringing and company stopping by. Now and 20 years ago. Go on YouTube, search Sebastian Maniscalco doorbell. It's exactly what you were talking about. So funny. You know what? He actually is you know who that is, Rhea? Sebastian Maniscalco. He's an Italian-American comedian. He's very over the top, very dramatic with his actions and the way he delivers his comedy. He's a real funny guy. Real funny. I'll go check that out. LT says, black kids who went to Vincent High School were from the Brewers Hill area. That's where the Rude Boys started with their ties to Chicago gangs. Blackstone something, I think. That was like 1984. Then LT says, I'ma go, Bob, and go way off topic. But did you notice all of the cops in Montgomery, Alabama who arrested the white people were black? Imagine if those were white cops. We have the opportunities to change our own narratives and we won't do it, but we'll complain when those opportunities are given to someone else, like migrants in Illinois. And then LT says segments with Bob get more and more painful. No, I don't think they're painful, are they? Whose pain is it? Our pain for listening or his pain he's sharing? Both? Neither? No, I don't think. I have legitimate questions. Like, y'all forget I'm an interviewer. So if you call me, I may flip the script on you. You may call this program because you have questions. I may have questions too. And also, if Bob is going to call every day and he calls Nothing But the Truth, that's the show after this. I'll never know what it's called. Nothing But the Truth. Truth and the Truth. Nothing But the Truth. Well, he calls that show too. Why shouldn't we get to know who Bob is? The man has brought his saxophone to my studio on multiple occasions. If I want to ask him questions about where his ex-wife, baby mama, deadbeat is, I'm going to ask the questions. Very curious about these things. All right. Craig says, nope, not Craig. Congress Kurt says, I got that quote, I'm late text before, but it was only because I broke up with the woman. Turns out it was a lie to keep me. Well, that lie can't last forever, because if she's not actually pregnant, if she's not showing, then you know that it's all falsehood. Here's something that I learned from a friend. I lived vicariously through him, and it scared me to death. So there was a woman who was involved with a man on a short-term basis, and she got pregnant. And she knew she didn't want to be with him. In fact, she had no intentions of telling this particular man that she was pregnant by him, and she was 100% sure it was this particular man's child. I think the guy that she got pregnant by was married. Now, that wasn't disclosed, but it would make a lot of sense if that man was married. So here's this woman, 23, 24 years old, involves herself with a guy that she absolutely shouldn't have. Of course, she regretted it afterwards. She got pregnant, okay? She just found out she was pregnant, so she's not even close to showing it. She and her pregnant self, she's maybe 6 weeks pregnant, right? Meets my friend. Listen to me, fellas. This could be you one day. This woman is already pregnant by a guy that she wants nothing to do with. And she has no intentions of terminating the pregnancy. She also has no intentions of telling the actual biological father, hey, this is your baby, I'm pregnant. She didn't want to do that. So she goes out. She meets my friend and actually goes on a number of dates with him, okay? They end up, doing the do. She then tells my friend that she's pregnant with his baby. He believes it. She has the baby. Baby is now, they broke up, okay? He's paying child support. Signed the birth certificate and everything. Fellas, don't sign it. Don't sign it until, listen to me. Don't sign it until you get a paternity test. It's just an insurance policy. So they break up. He's paying child support. Somebody questioned her because I think she told somebody that she was pregnant before she met my friend. And my friend was instructed like, hey, dude, you just to be on the safe side, get a paternity test. I don't want to do that. That would be rude and disrespectful. No, making you pay child support for a child that's not yours is rude and disrespectful. And guess what? Took the DNA test. Not his baby. It's literally an episode of Maury. And this happened right here in the city of Milwaukee. And here's what's crazy. The child support that he paid for a child that biologically is not his, he doesn't get back. Just an FYI. Al says, Rob, my brother, please expand your mind. Everybody is not on the way, white devil. Some people might not just be in touch with motherhood. Oh, that's when Rob called in and thought that Bob's baby mama / ex-wife left the kids because she went on a crack binge. I think there's also a stereotype that women are natural mothers. They're not. There is no maternal instinct. It doesn't exist. It's made up. It is concocted. Human beings learn how to parent. If a woman can learn how to parent, then a man can learn how to parent. One gender versus another being better equipped to parent is a myth, a fallacy, and a stereotype. Some women don't have the motherhood instinct, and guess who will tell you that? Their kids. They'll tell you that their mamas were terrible mamas. Some kids will tell you that their dads were wonderful dads. Just saying, just because she is a female does not better incline her toward motherhood. If anything, it can better incline her towards selfishness. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's that time, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. From Thursday, August 3rd to Sunday, August 13th, check out the Wonder Fair Wheel, Spin City amusement ride and game area, and of course, all the crazy yet tasty new food options, such as the deep fried bacon cheese curd, a seaweed fish sandwich, loaded potato kettle corn, and many of your fan favorites. Vendors will accept cash inside the State Fair, but parking and admission will be cashless. So make sure you come prepared for the 11 days of fun.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
When you choose Ascension Wisconsin for your family's care needs, you'll get the right care at the right place at the right time, and you'll get an entire team ready to care for your family. Family medicine doctors care for the whole family, and Ascension Wisconsin will help make sure your family is up to date on screenings and yearly wellness checks. Ascension also cares for you when you are sick and helps manage ongoing chronic conditions. If you don't have a primary care doctor, go to GetAscensionWisconsinCare.com to find one today.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with a link.
Okay. Smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Entrepreneurship Connection show powered by Molson Coors. Dr. Ken Harris will be joined by Denise Pachuca, Senior Regional Manager of Zero Barriers to Business for BMO Harris Bank. They're going to discuss BMO Harris Bank's efforts to help business owners gain access to capital, educational resources, and partnerships. Again, that's the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Entrepreneurship Connection show powered by Molson Coors this Saturday at 11 a.m. on 1017 The Truth. And join us on Saturday for our free and open to the public Truth Family Fest. It's going to be from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Riverside High School in Milwaukee. This is a can't miss event, and it's our first ever Truth Family Fest. We're going to have live music, free haircuts for the kids, free backpacks filled with school supplies, delicious food, healthcare resources, financial education resources, and free giveaways. We're looking forward to seeing you this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our Truth Family Fest. Truth Family Fest, sponsored by Ascension, Wisconsin, Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, Associated Bank, and MATC. And since you're tuned in to the Truth on Saturday at 11, might as well tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance, hosted by Dr. Ken Harris and Fred Johnson. Dr. Ken and Fred will discuss the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion for companies and for society. They will also highlight Erie Insurance's overall approach to DEI and future investments. So again, Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance this Saturday at 10 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 Le Truth. That's enough of those. Ramon. Which one? Ramon.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm just I'm doing well. I'm headed to my other job, so I just had time to get in here. But in regards to deadbeat dads and deadbeat moms, it happens out there a lot, and there's a lot of angles where that happens. And I was a single dad at one point, and there's issues that come into play when you're separated from the mom, and they, and I'm not just relating. We survived it. The mother of my child and I survived it. She has her own life, and I have my own life, and we're both raising our daughter, which she's about to turn 20. But it's very tough that I see other people going through it, and there's a lot of stuff on the woman's side. Like even with a woman having a child, their mental goes out of whack. And as far as there was a study done that it takes about 10 years for a woman to fully come back to her mind, to be on her toes, and to be able to be the mom that she could be. And just from being seeing a woman have a kid with having a kid, a woman does act different, and there's a lot of support that needs to go and play with the man being there for the woman, and sometimes it straightens out, and sometimes it doesn't, man, and that's where it comes into deadbeat moms. But unfortunately, there's a lot of angles to it, and the bad thing happens, man. And hey, like the other buddy said, man, it takes all it will take is to drop a liquor too, man, and women will lose it. And I got examples with friends of mine that, hey, they lost their relationship, but guess what? That's what a liquor did it, and the woman's going wild, and it goes both for men too. And unfortunately, all I can say is that for somebody not to be a deadbeat dad or a deadbeat mom, you need to go in there and find yourself that one person you're looking for, and things should straighten out, and there won't be no title to that. Everybody should be a good parent.
Ramon, you're saying that when a woman has a baby, she's basically messed up for 10 years. Are you talking about all women that have children, or women that might have postpartum depression?
There you go, the postpartum depression.
Okay.
I mean, the postpartum. I'm not justifying it, dude. Man, I don't know what women really think after. You know what I'm saying? After they have the postpartum depression, I got a feeling that has a lot to do with it, and it can go south when you don't have that support, dude. I learned how to be supportive for my woman just out of experience with the first one. I'm on my second woman, and that's it. I'm raising my other kid, and I don't know, there's a lot of angles to it, man. I mean, I could have been a deadbeat dad too, man, but I told myself, hey, I need to do my part, and in order for me to get out of struggle, it does take another person, dude. It took me finding the other love for me to, start that family foundation, and that's the only way I survived it, man. Honestly, finding that other person and overcoming all that,
Well, you keep on keeping on, sir, and I'm glad you found your person.
Well, thank you, sir. You have a good one, man.
You too. I didn't know where Ramon was going with that. He was like, when women have a baby, they go crazy for 10 years. And And then the alcohol. Well, if somebody's an alcoholic, then of course that makes everything more difficult, including raising children.
Yeah.
Well, Linda, it looks like you have an update for us with the Child Protective Services and the neighbor down the street. What you got?
Hey, Sherwin, I'm just so frustrated, man. I'm just want to cry and beat her ass because she is doing this to these kids, man. The neighbor and I just got through talking, and he was, they live next door to her, so they have a video recorder of all the things that is going on. And he was just telling me that the 13-year-old who just turned 14, he got her on camera smoking a crack pipe.
Whoa!
And Yep, they got two more girls.
Crack has made a comeback today. Like on my show, I've heard more about crack than I have in the last 12 years of broadcasting. So you mean to tell me they got the mama on smoking crack?
No, the mama is allowing her daughters, her children, to participate in the disgust of these boys who, one of them, they 13, 14, 15, 16, one of them sell drugs. They have gotten two more girls from the neighborhood, and there's a garage behind the lady's house where they go and they smoke dope and they have sex and they have orgies. And the neighbor has it on camera, calls the police, calls CPS as well. You know what they tell them, because we have organization, the Bridge Builders Organization, our neighborhood organization, and we have police officers come when we are discussing problematic houses. And so we told the police officer about this lady and what she's doing, and they said, well, if they're not breaking the law, there's nothing we can do. I said, you mean to tell me that someone selling drugs to a minor, smoking drugs with a minor, engaging in orgies with a minor is not breaking the law? Ain't nothing they can do? Can I get a chair and beat the crap out of this mother?
No, you will not be hitting the woman with a folding chair, as tempting as that may sound. Are you sure that they're smoking crack and they're having orgies?
They have it on tape. They have it on tape, Sherwin.
They've got children having sex with each other.
This woman is literally a devil. She is a devil. She's having these children, and she's letting these girls letting these boys just run train through these girls. And and the thing is, the city at the intersection that the house is at, the city lights are always out over here. So at that intersection, the light is always out, and we're constantly calling the city or whoever to fix it, because it's been 2 years now, and because that there's no light at that house, that just makes it all the more.
There's no street lights on. The street lights have been. Are we talking about the street lights or residents like lighting?
There's no street light at that intersection, so it's dark, and so those kids get to think they doing things in the dark when we seeing them, we're hearing them, the music playing, and the neighbor is recording them, man. And the woman is she's oh Lord Jesus, she's on something wrong with her, because she's strung out on she be at the young boys' houses and doing what she do. So I don't know. Whew, Lord Jesus, it's just I oh God. Emotionally, I'm distraught. I'm angry, and as a citizen, I'm helpless. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do to save these kids. You know what I'm saying? This is a 13-year-old just turned 14, smoking a crack pipe.
Okay, so if the neighbor has actual video footage of these infractions, then that video footage needs to be turned over to the authorities, including CPS and the Milwaukee Police Department, because you guys calling
gross negligence.
That's one thing. If it's actually on video, then that's another. But you got to be careful with this, Linda. Let me tell you why. Because if there are children engaging in sexual activities, and if that is caught on the video, possession of that is child pornography. So it has to go right to the authorities. It cannot be for any other distribution. So you can't even see it. You got to turn it over.
Yeah, to the police officers that come to the community meetings. But I also want to express my, I guess, I can resonate with black men and what they're going through with toxic women, and I'll have to say, Sherwin, as far as my healing process, what I'm going through now is looking at the women in my family that we considered, the great, the ideology that we have about grandmothers and aunties. Well, honey, I'm trying to tell you that the revelation of realizing that is not true. It's very painful, but it's something that I have to accept as a part of my family, because a lot of those aunties we thought were strong black women, they were fucking toxic, okay? And I'm trying to process the effect of that in my life. And all I'm saying is that when it comes to men, Lord have mercy, I would side with the man any day, because a woman is manipulative and toxic. I'm not saying all of them, because obviously I am, and I am nothing like that. But what I'm learning about the black woman, baby, we need to rethink and redefine what that is, because we protect the toxic ones in our family that's causing and perpetuating the division in the family, and we're not confronting them on the wrong that they're doing and acknowledging the mental illness that they have.
Linda, I gotta
do a lot to realize that.
I gotta leave it there. I mean, I want to let you continue to speak your mind and to vent, but I really gotta take a break. But keep us posted on the crack smoking orgy children, please.
Yes, okay.
All right. Oh, okay, Linda. All right. I don't know what happened with this show. We replaying this show again. This is gonna replay all weekend. We're gonna title this show Deadbeat Mama Crack Makes a Comeback, Teenage Orgy Story at 11. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Tory Lowe from 1017 The Truth, and if you're in need of a reliable and compassionate legal representation, look no further than patent law offices, where promises are turned into action. They are passionate about fighting for all people of color and offers you their justice is not just discount for all potential BIPOC clients. If you need someone willing to fight for you, please visit patentlawwi.com.
I've got some cheese curds that I'm willing to share. Then I want to ride that giant slide over there. So if you've got 11 days to spare, won't you come with me to the Wisconsin State Fair? Won't you come with me to the Wisconsin, the great state of Wisconsin State
There's
Fair.
something for everyone at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular August 3rd through the 13th.
Dear hero, whoever you are, you save lives. I live with sickle cell and the pain and the issues that come along with sickle cell every day. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime, probably in the hundreds. Blood helps me to be able to live.
My final tour was in Afghanistan in 2008. I was hit June 3rd. The next thing I remember, I woke up in Germany. The doctor came in and said, we're going to amputate your leg. I had to get a lot of blood transfusion to stay alive.
Because of you, I'm allowed to see my son grow up.
Because of you, I got a second chance at life.
Giving equals living. Give blood. Replenish the supply. Make an appointment to give today by visiting hhs.gov/giveblood. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the new 1017 The Truth Business Spotlight tomorrow. No, I think that should be today. What's today? No, tomorrow at 3:57 p.m. between the Tory Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Laura Zweier-Line, partner and attorney at Tayback Law, about Social Security disability benefits and how Tayback can help you get all the SSI or SSDI benefits which are owed to you. And again, that is the Business Spotlight with Tayback Law tomorrow at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 Le Truth. Truth Nation, we want to celebrate the survivors of breast cancer and highlight their stories of fighting and thriving through. For a limited time, we are selling specialty 1017 The Truth t-shirts. Go to 1017thetruth.com to purchase your limited edition Thrive Through shirt. All sale proceeds go to the Froedtert Medical College of Wisconsin Breast Cancer Care Research Fund. Again, to support this effort, we ask that you visit 1017thetruth.com to purchase a limited edition Truth t-shirt and support the fight against breast cancer. And August, as you may already know, is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the excellence of Black-owned businesses. Together, we're committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black businesses, and this is why Carrie Noni will be spotlighting 4 Black businesses in Milwaukee and telling the stories of their success. Be sure to follow 1017 The Truth on social media and YouTube so you can watch the incredible stories of these Black-owned businesses. We encourage you to buy Black all month long, and whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC. And the Black-owned business Give Back is back. We have again teamed up with Associated Bank to help local Black businesses grow and succeed together. We're going to give away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 5 months. Nope, 3 months to 5 businesses in the year 2023. It's almost like winning an advertising lottery. To sign up for this opportunity, go to blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on 1017 The Truth. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. We might as well just take a commercial break. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my last commercial break of the program, come back and dig into this mountain of text messages that I have received, starting with 414-627. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Saturday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Diversity and Excellence, powered by Erie Insurance, hosted by me, Dr. Ken Harris, and Fred Johnson, Vice President and Wisconsin State Manager for Erie Insurance. Fred and I will be discussing the importance of DEI and highlight Erie Insurance's overall approach to DEI and future investments. Don't miss Diversity and Excellence, powered by Erie Insurance, this Saturday, 10 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Good Karma Brands is celebrating Thriving Through. We are proud to share an encouraging story from The Truth's General Manager, Cherie Harris, of thriving through her breast cancer diagnosis.
What I knew about breast cancer before I was diagnosed that I know that is tumors. that lies in your body, and it can metastasize, which means it can spread throughout your body if you don't take care of it right away. So being proactive and having a mammogram every year, whether you're 35 or 40, is key. What I know about it now is that there's different types of breast cancer. It's not just one type, and what I have is triple negative breast cancer, which is very aggressive, one of the most aggressive, and it comes in different stages. So understanding what that is, understanding the stages, just because something is stage 1 doesn't mean it's less harmful than stage 4. It's all about your care and the response to that care. And when you understand that, you'll be in a better space.
Has anything surprised you from either what you knew then versus what you know now? Were you surprised by anything?
Yes, I was surprised. I mean, everybody knows when you have breast cancer, the first thing people think about, I'm going to lose my hair. That is the least of your worries. We need to understand is that you're going to lose living cells in your body. You're going to have chemo brain, which means it's going to harder remember things, form synthesis, simple synthesis. You're going to sleep a lot. You can't control that. Your eating habits are going to change, so you got to be mindful of that. There's a lot of things I was unaware about. Nausea is one of those things as well, but can be controlled, and you should not be afraid of that. So just understanding like the adversities of your care, which means, you know, the side effects and how to counteract those side effects, which means how to prevent it, I think the outcome would be better. And that's what worked for me.
Support our Thrive Through initiative by buying an exclusive Truth Thrive Through shirt by visiting 1017thetruth.com. All proceeds go to support breast cancer research. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
.1017 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes for Axe Housing. Your mortgage can be less than what you were paying for rent. In fact, if you work with Axe Housing, you're going to average about $800 a month for your mortgage payment. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing will have a coach on staff that can assist you today. They'll help you create a plan and a budget. They can even help you get more money for down payment assistance. So if you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you should be. You can get started on a virtual home buying orientation by clicking on the Truth link at axhousing.org. That's ACTS housing.org. Do not let where you are financially today get in the way of your bright future. Axe coaches are here to help. That's axhousing.org. And if you're a general contractor, Axe would like to speak with you as they need to hire 100 additional contractors by the end of the year. That's axhousing.org. All right, guys. 414-627 says, I have 4 friends who all have custody of their kids. Are they male parents or female parents? One of them didn't get her off child support and the food stamps, so he has extra money coming out of his check and still deals with it. That's his problem. That's ridiculous. Chris says, climate change narrative is nothing about fear-mongering. How do you say you don't know anything about science without saying you don't know anything about science? 262-595 says, hang on, let me scroll up. Thank you for saying that. We pull oil up constantly, which lubes up the tectonic plates and makes earthquakes less. We pollute the only spaceship we have to travel through space and expect it to remain the same and say we aren't doing anything wrong. Like you said, wait till hurricane season and we end up running through 3/4 of the alphabet naming them. They've even had hurricane seasons where they had to start over. So it's 26 letters in the alphabet. So we've had more than 26 hurricanes in the season. You mark my words. Wait till this fall. Cavalier Johnson has got a very lofty goal. He wants Milwaukee to have 1 million people. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous because why would people want to move here? Like, why would we double our population here? It's not because of our amenities. It's not because of the people, because you guys, a lot of y'all are not nice. I mean, some of you are, but a lot of you are not. I think we may get to 1 million people. Now, it's going to be in a while, though, because the Midwest will feel the effects of climate change. The heat will take longer, But our winters are going to be unpredictable and unbearable. So here's the thing about climate change that people don't understand. I think it's just global warming, which was a bad title for climate change. It means you're going to have erratic and unpredictable weather extremes in both directions. Because the earth is heating up does not mean we are not still going to get snow and cold winters because of the earth's axis tilt. When it's wintertime, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. It's more indirect sunlight. That is what gives you your season. So we're still going to have winter, but how erratic and unpredictable and how severe winter and summer weather can be is a symptom. Avery Shelton says, thank you, Avery. Thank you so much. Rhea, you need to say what we was talking about a little while ago. Avery says Jenna is strapped. She is. Hey, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Thank you, Avery.
Leave this woman alone, both of y'all.
Then Avery says, my close friend has raised his daughter. The mother, total loser. On top of that, he's taken in the mother and her other son because she is homeless. Wow, that's unfortunate. Let me read that other part again. Jenna is strapped. Whew. See, if you knew, you'd be like, oh, you're right. I agree with old Sherwin. Should I? Probably should just leave it alone, hey? So is that offensive? Who is she offended by that, you think? Jenna, if you're offended, can you call me? So we can talk about it over a glass of wine. Shawnee Sean says, there's a such thing B as women's boxers. Hanes makes them. Free balling is the best. Did I read all of Brittany's comments? I don't think I did. Here we go. I didn't. Brittany said, I don't wear panties either. I'm a proud mom of 5. Granny panties are nowhere near as comfortable as men's drawers. Maybe that's why you got 5 kids. Put some underwear on, woman. Don't nobody need your clamshell flapping in the breeze. Think about what she just said to us, Rhea. I'm a proud mom of 5 and I don't wear no underwear. But when she does wear underwear, she prefers men's underwear. Something is wrong with y'all.
Maybe it's just comfortable. Women also use men's deodorant. So if it works, if I had 5 children, I'm about to wear the most comfortable thing I can ever wear.
But she doesn't wear any underwear, and maybe that's the problem. Her access is too easy.
Okay, I'm done with you.
Okay, then fine. I don't wear panties either. Oh, she doesn't wear panties. Not that she doesn't wear underwear. She doesn't wear women's underwear. I don't wear panties either. I'm a proud mom of 5. Granny panties are nowhere near as comfortable as men's drawers. I don't know how I would feel as a man if I'm about to be intimate with a woman that I'm involved with and I'm taking down some men's boxer briefs. That would be weird to me because here's the thing. If she's just wearing her underwear, which are men's underwear, and they're men's underwear, I might be afraid if I pull them down, I might see a penis.
You got to be joking.
No, I'm afraid. You got to be careful because I don't want a surprise. You know what I mean? Just like tell me and let me make my decision. And my decision would be, no, I'm not into that. But I don't.
Solely just because the underwear that she has on.
You never know what's hiding, what's lurking.
That's ridiculous.
She might, yeah, sure, when I'm looking forward to this. Here, just slide those things down. So yeah, pull them down. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey!
Would you rather have a woman wear male boxers or briefs or whatever it is, or holes in their underwear?
Holes are unacceptable. I got a story.
I have one too.
Men wearing holy underwear is like par for the course. Like we need to stop doing that because men, you will be judged. Because to us, as long as they're clean and comfortable, we don't care. But presentation is actually everything. You know what I'm saying? Like how you have yourself presented is really important. But a woman wearing holy underwear, like don't let me see those. Because I'm just so used to women being incredibly prepared. Because I know it depends on the woman, obviously. If a woman thinks there's the slightest possibility that there's going to be some action going on, she's going to trim and shave and she's going to do all the special things, even if she thinks the slightest possibility of intimacy may take place. And I come to find this out so there was a woman that I dated for, I don't know, a period of time, and we just kind of remained friends. And she actually works from home. She's working from home long before anybody else was. And so when I was in my early days of radio, I was done at noon, like I am today. And she was at home. And I was like, hey, when I'm done with work, can I come and just like kick it with you? I know you're still working, but can I just come and hang? She's like, well, no, I'll let you know when you can come over. I was like, dude, you're there every single day at noon. I can bring us lunch. She's like, no, I'll let you know when you can come over. And I was very offended by that because I knew that she was at home. Many years later, she told me, she was like, Sherwin, some days I just roll out of bed and I start working. I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to shave. And so when you come over, even if you're just coming to visit when you're done on the radio, I need to be prepared. I was like, oh, well, you should have told me that. Because I thought she was just denying me. Like, don't come over. And here's the thing. Most of the time when I went to hang out with her, it was just to kick it with her because she was cool. We didn't do all that often. I mean, sometimes we did. But it wasn't every single time. You know, she was just a real cool person. And then one day she's like, this friendship is not fulfilling my needs. Because I think that she thought we were like working toward a relationship. Like this woman had been in my life for like 10 years. And then all of a sudden she was like, this is not what I'm looking for. I was like, cool, peace. And then I come to find out, you didn't fight for me. No, not if you're going to tell me the friendship is not working out. And I ain't going to fight for nothing. What I look like. Okay. I'm going to try and read all these. Bill says, I feel so bad for this caller and her neighbors. Oh, talking about Linda. Yeah, that was a lot Linda dropped on us. The crack smoking and the teenage orgies was a bridge too far. Dion says Linda needs to mind her business. I'm not reading that, Dion. And then Dion says, I know people that use women's deodorant and perfume. I'm just going to let that stand on its own. Rodney says street lights too. Traffic signal outages. 414-286-2489. So if you have street lights that are out, you can call that number too. Yeah, when we have street lights go out on our street, never more than 48 hours. Alderman Mike Murphy is my alderman. 414-745 says, I heard someone say that there would be a lot more deadbeat moms if there was no welfare. Sadly, I agree. Also, I tell my son just because the girl is framed up nice and pretty in the face doesn't mean that she is mother material. And I guess I'd have to agree on that note. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.
Hey Truth Nation, it's your girl Melanie Ricks from Nothing But the Truth, and we want you to join us for our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We're bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, financial resources, healthcare resources, and free haircuts for all kids. So mark your calendars for Saturday, August 12th to come out to our Truth Family Fest, sponsored by Ascension Wisconsin, Educators Credit Union, Hunger Task Force, and Associated Bank. Truth Nation, we want to celebrate the survivors of breast cancer and highlight their stories of fighting and thriving through their diagnosis. To celebrate survivors for a limited time only, we're selling specialty 1017 The Truth Thrive Through shirts. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to purchase our limited edition Thrive Through shirts supported by Obvious Shirts. All sale proceeds go to support the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Breast Cancer Care and Research Fund. To support this effort, you can visit 1017thetruth.com to buy a specialty Truth shirt and support the fight against breast cancer.